Hello and welcome back to your mat. Happy Summer Solstice and happy International Yoga Day. So I could not think of a better place than to be under this big beautiful tree for Summer Solstice and also to celebrate the International Day of Yoga. So we're going to get started right away. You will potentially, if you can practice outside, that's a bonus. If you can't, totally understand. 2 blocks are optional, but they could be handy because we're going to be doing some sun salutations, so for your half lifts and lunges and such. And if you're not practicing outside and you have wall space nearby, that could also be helpful, but I'll show you. Obviously, I don't have a wall, so I'll show you without a wall. So we'll get started with a quote by Van Morrison. Smell the sea and feel the sky. Lunch your soul and spirit fly. So let's just do that throughout this practice. Don't get caught up in exactly how it looks or is it exactly perfect and right. Really just flow through with it and celebrate the official first day of summer, although most of us have been celebrating way before that, and also International Yoga Day. All right, let's get started. We'll cut to the top of our mat, and actually, no, we're going to start seated. Excuse me, got ahead of myself. We're going to come seated, simple cross-legged, and we're just going to bring our thumb and our index fingers to touch. We're just going to allow the energy connection there. So go ahead and have both of your hands and let your other fingers splay out. So just put those near your knee here, and we're going to close our eyes and just arrive on the mat. And for just a moment, about 30 seconds or so, close your eyes and just breathe, notice, and have gratitude for this very moment. Breathe in and out at your own pace. Arrive here. This may be the most challenging pose of today's class, is asking you to sit still for just another couple of breaths and arrive in this moment. Another nice inhale through your nose. Exhale, let it all go. Open your eyes. I gotta say, I am full of gratitude for such a beautiful day to record this class. So let's get started. Come stand at the top of your mat. Have your blocks nearby if you know you need them for the forward folds and halfway lifts. So I'm gonna have mine nearby because my hamstrings are been tight lately, or they're always tight if I'm honest. We're gonna start in mountain pose. So go ahead, your feet are hip width apart. Hands are down to your sides. Take a moment here and also arrive. Close your eyes if you like. And then on the inhale, go ahead and rise your arms up overhead. And then exhale, fold forward, hinging at your hips, any amount. You can have a bend in your knees if you like. You can grab the blocks if you like. Fold in. Inhale and halfway lift out. Look out in front of you. Exhale, fold back in. And now on the inhale, go ahead and step that right foot back and come into a low lunge. No, actually, we're going to come into it. Let's go ahead and keep the knee off the ground today. So go ahead and keep that back knee off the ground. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way for this. Although if you need them, go ahead and use them. You could use them for your lunge. Inhale here. Really feel that strength and power in your legs. And then we're going to exhale and step back into plank briefly. Lower down to your knees. Everyone's going to lower down to their knees today because we're going to do what's called knees, chest, and chin to come down to come out on the ground. So go ahead and bring your knees are down and bring your chest and your chin. You're going to leave your bum up a bit and then slide forward. Lower the ground and now elbows tucked in, come into your cobra pose. So today we're going to do knees, chest, and chin. Exhale back down. Go ahead and come back up. And come back up through your knees. Keep your knees down today. And we're going to come up into our downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Letting all that go. Feel the power in your legs. Really stretch through your arms and your legs here. Pedal out your legs if you need to. Making sure you're breathing. Another inhale and exhale. Before we're going to look forward and step that right foot forward and come into that lunge again. So again, you could grab your blocks if those are going to come in handy. And come into your lunge. So your back knee is off the ground. I don't want to lose my mic here. Sorry about that. Look forward. And then go ahead and step forward. And exhale, fold in. Again, always use those blocks you need to. I'm going to get them out of the way just to make it easier for you to see everything. But again, you can keep them handy if you need them. And then come all the way back up from your forward fold, reaching up toward the sky. Bring your prayer hands down the center, full of gratitude because you've made it through one sun salutation. Now, traditionally, on International Day of Yoga or International Yoga Day, a lot of people will participate in 108 sun salutations. I'm happy to tell you we're only going to do another round of that. So we're doing a total of 2. Now, if you're feeling frisky, you can pause the video and just do your 108, which would be another 106 when we're done. So here we go. Come back to your mountain pose and be grateful that we're not doing 108, unless you're really wanting to do 108. And I'll be honest, I've been practicing yoga forever, and I have never done 108 sun salutations all at once. It's just not my thing. It's too much repetition for me. But maybe that's the point. All right, inhale, rise those arms up overhead. And exhale, fold forward, grab the blocks if you need them. Inhale and halfway lift. You can also use your shins instead of a block. Look forward. And now we're going to exhale, and this time we're going to exhale and bring that left foot back behind us and come into that lunge. So your back knee is off the ground. We're looking forward here. Really feel the power up in that back leg there and your front leg. Really feel the power, the strength. And then we're going to exhale and come into plank. And then lower those knees and come on down, knees, chest, chin. So your butt and your lower back are the last to touch the ground. Slide on through to your cobra. Bring yourself forward into cobra, keeping those elbows tucked in. Really lifting out as best you can. You can look up. And then exhale onto your knees and come into your downward facing dog. And 3 nice, long, deep, steady breaths here. So pedal the legs out, move if you need to, stretch through your arms and your legs, bring your hips up toward the sky, knees bent if needed. One more inhale and exhale. And then go ahead and look forward and step that left foot forward and come up to your lunge. So your back knee is off the ground again. Really feel the power up in your legs there. Look forward, breathe in that fresh air if you're outside. And go ahead and step forward. And exhale and let it all go into your nice forward fold. And then inhale, rise your arms up overhead. Bring your prayer hands down the center, back to your chest. Eyes closed for a moment. Release your hands down to your sides. Just notice how you feel after just doing, technically, it's really, I think that would be 1 round of sun salutations. It really depends on who you talk to, going from the 2 sides. But I'm going to count it as 2, because why not? I can do that today. So go ahead and bring yourself here. Sun salutations are a great way to warm up. So if you don't have much time in your day, throw a few of those in your morning and just see how great you feel going through your day. It's going to stretch everything out. It's going to give you some strength. It's going to get the blood moving. But I'm trying to keep this class short enough so everyone can enjoy it. So we're going to move on to our next pose, which is going to be a balance pose. So we're going to balance on that left foot. We're going to come into tree pose, which I think is appropriate, considering there's a tree behind me. So if you need a wall, and if you have a wall space next to you, go ahead and grab that. Otherwise, go ahead and bring that right foot up anywhere on your leg except for your knee. Bring your hands together in prayer. I find this to be easiest. And find a point to look at out in front of you. So just gaze there. Keep your focus. You can always bring your arms up overhead, but that can sometimes throw you off your balance a bit. And I'm going to try to avoid falling on camera today, so I'm going to keep my hands down, wobble, let it go whenever you need to, and go ahead and shake that out, and we'll come to the other side. All right, balance poses are great to help with focus, so we'll go to the right side now. So go ahead and flip that left foot out, and go ahead and bring that left foot up anywhere on your leg except for your knee. Hands in prayer. And then I just want you to find that point of gaze. And just breathe for a moment. Feel grateful for whatever you're able to do. If you fall over, come back into it. It's okay. It's a balance. It's supposed to be challenging. And release that down. Excellent. And now we're going to come down for a seat. So go ahead and come down into your seat. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. We're going to come into bound angle pose. So my soles of my feet are going to be together. And you may find if you're really tight, you might want to have more of a diamond shape with your legs. If you want to have a little bit more of intense stretch, then you can bring your heels closer in. The closer you bring them, the more intense this will be. So if you have a really tight back or you have really tight hamstrings, there's no good benefit to really bringing your knees as far in as you can and then really just struggling and then you're not getting anywhere. So find where is good for you. I'm going to go middle of the road today. I'm not going to go full diamond. I'm not going to go full on all the way in. I'm going to go about middle of the road and sit up tall on your sitting bones. Okay, so we're trying not to be all rounded in like this. We're trying to sit up, rock forward onto those sitting bones. Sit up tall. If you're really tight, just stay here. You're working to keep that nice length in your back. Otherwise, if you're feeling it and you're like, yeah, I feel like I can go forward, go ahead forward any amount. Bring your hands down the ground in front of you if you like. You can hold your feet. Some of you may be able to come even further down, but don't push past. Don't push into pain. Find the sensation and stay there with it. So we're going to breathe here for 3 breaths and just really release everything into the mat. So let your legs, your knees come down to the ground as much as they can. They may be further up. And if they're really high up, I would really suggest staying up, more upright. If you can bring them somewhat down, then you can go ahead and fold in any amount. So take some breaths. And I should have pointed out at the beginning of this video, but obviously this is the summer solstice for the northern hemisphere. So for all of you who are in the southern hemisphere, sorry. Unless, you love the winter, then happy winter solstice to you. And then go ahead and come on up, inhale and come back up. And now we're going to come onto our backs. And before you come onto your back, I was just having a block if you don't have a wall nearby, if you're not going to use a wall for our last pose, just to have that nearby. So go ahead and put it wherever you need to so you can easily grab it. But we're just going to come lying down and come into a simple, easy supine twist. So go ahead and stretch that left leg out in front of you. Bring your right leg up into your chest and bring it across your body to the left. Bringing your right arm out to the right. Your head goes to the right. And do this nice twist. This will be a nice release for the lower back, all of the back really. And it just feels really good. This is a great way to end a practice. And with this practice and many others, you're always welcome to repeat, especially like the sun salutations we did. You could do several rounds of those if you really like to. If you want to make this a longer practice, you can always shorten or lengthen the practice by adding a few more repetitions in. Bring your leg back up, and now let's switch. So now the right leg will be out straight on your mat. Bring that left leg in. Bring it across your body to the right. Bring that left arm out to the left. And then look over and glance over to the left. And you should feel a nice stretch here in your lower back, all the way through your spine. And just bask in this pose for just a moment. So good. I love supine twist. And then go ahead and bring the legs back in. Go ahead and hug them in. If you have a wall space nearby, we're going to do legs up the wall. So go to your wall, get near your wall, and go ahead and bring your back up to actually it would be more like your seat up against the wall. So we'll say this is the wall. You'd come up to the wall with your seat and then swing your legs up obviously to the wall, but I don't have a wall. So for those who don't have a wall, if you have a wall, go ahead and get into it. If you don't have one, go ahead and grab your block and then put that underneath of your sacrum. I've got on the lowest setting. So you want this to be a nice stable setting here for you. So you don't want it to be on the highest setting. And then from here, you're going to bring your legs up. So it's going to be a little bit more of a supported legs up the wall
with the block underneath of you. So the wall makes it easier to hold your legs up. Obviously, no wall makes it a little bit more, but it's not that bad. It's just you got to hold your legs up. And you can point and flex your feet a little bit if you want. You could roll your ankles in circles. You could do none of that and just be here. We're going to finish out with a couple of nice breaths in and out at your own pace. I highly recommend your eyes closed. And this is how we're going to finish out our class today to celebrate International Yoga Day and also summer solstice for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. And this is a pose that if you have the time, when this video is over, stay in this pose for a few minutes, especially if you're at the wall. That can be a really nice way to reverse the flow of blood. There are so many benefits. I need to make notes and actually just do this pose one day at the end of class and just go through all the benefits. Another class, because I didn't put the benefits together, but there's a lot of benefits to having your legs up like this. So just anytime you need a little refresher for your feet, do legs up the wall. I'm going to leave you here. Thanks so much for joining me. And until next time, happy all things. Until next time.